What's up everyone, it's that Math Magician, and on this video we're taking a look at systems of equations and we want to see where do the two lines intersect. To figure that out, we first got to look at our system. We have a system right here, x equals negative 5y plus 2 and x equals 3y minus 2. These are two lines and we want to see where those lines intersect. Now we want to use the correct method to solve this algebraically. We either have equal values method, substitution, or we have elimination method. I want you to look at these two equations and notice anything in particular that stands out. And I think there's a big thing that stands out. They both start with x equals. We know that x equals negative 5y plus 2, and we also know that x equals 3y minus 2. Since both of those highlighted pieces there, they both equal x, right? They both equal the same variable. Then it means that those highlighted parts must be equal to each other. This is what we call the equal values method, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that piece, the highlighted part, negative 5y plus 2, and I'm going to make that equal to the other highlighted part, that x equals 3y minus 2. We can do that because both pieces equal the same thing. So that's equal values method. Now we just have to solve it out. We need to get our x's, or not our x's, but our y's to one side and our numbers to the other. We want to isolate that y variable. So I think we can start off by adding 5y's on both sides. Doing so will get rid of those y's on the left-hand side. They zero out. I'm left with just a positive 2. 3y plus 5y is going to give me 8y's. Don't forget to bring down that negative 2. Alrighty, notice that I got all my y's on one side. I probably want to get my constant over here to the other side. To move that guy over, we will just do the opposite. Add 2 on both sides. They zero out on this side. I now got him over there. 2 plus 2 is going to give us 4. And it equals 8y. We are doing so good. Okay, I almost got y by itself, but there's that 8 out in front. We don't want that. To get rid of the 8, we'll just divide both sides by 8. Those are going to simplify to 1 on the right side, and y is going to equal 4 over 8, which is a fancy way of just saying 1/2, right? That's what it equals, 1/2, or you can think of it as a decimal, 0.5. However you want to write it works for me, but I'm going to go ahead and just write it as a decimal to make our lives a little easier. Alrighty, y'all, that is what y equals. Now, we're not done, because I still need to figure out what x equals. And to figure out what x equals, we're just going to take this y, put it into one of those two equations that we started with. I think I'm going to use the bottom one just because it'll be easier for me to write. Because watch, I'm going to write x equals 3y minus 2. But instead of writing y, I know that y equals 0.5. So I'm going to plug that in for my y value, or substitute it in for the y value. And now we can solve this out. 3 times 1/2 is going to end up being 1.5. And 1.5 minus 2 ends up with a final answer of negative 0.5. So this point of intersection is actually going to be on 2 decimals, and that is okay. Or we can write them as fractions. Let's do fractions. Fractions aren't that scary. X was negative 1/2 or negative 0.5. You could do decimal, you could do fraction. And then the y value was positive 1/2 or positive 0.5. That is where these two lines intersect. This problem happened to have answers that were decimals and fractions. That's okay. Life is messy, and they won't always have a whole number answer. Alrighty, everyone, you guys did so good. Don't forget to practice, 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 okay? It's that Math Magician, and I'll see you on the next video.